Yo, hold on, I'm slowly falling down. Welcome to my video. It's gonna be a little long one. Normally I don't do these long ones because they just take a while, but I was really into this one, right? After actually playing Life is Strange True Colors, I was like, 4 games, well really 5, but 4 games have been out, so might as well rank them, talk about them, and the characters, their powers, great moments in the game, and rank them, right? 1 through 4, not 5. Even though I do love Captain Spirit, but with that being said, I'm talking about the main games. And yes, I understand Before the Storm only has 3 episodes, and it's somewhat of a prequel to the first game, but it was released after the first game, so it kind of doesn't make sense. A lot of things like that happen in our lives, right? Life is Strange, there you go. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna go over Life is Strange 1, 2, Before the Storm, and of course True Colors. Just finished playing that one. There's 5 categories I'm gonna rank these games in. One of them is gonna be the story, right? Which has the better story, right? I mean, it's obviously there's gonna be, these games are about story. Even though they're called video games, I want to call them story-driven. I don't know, man. What do you want to call it? These story animated cartoons, story animated video game. You're basically not doing much as a video game you normally would. Even in Tetris and stuff like that, you're actually playing RPGs, you're hacking, slashing, or stuff like that. I guess this is more a chapter game, like the ones you get in your cell phones, which I love. So I love these. The characters, that's the second category. Which had the best characters, the moments, characters you care about, stuff like that. 3, music is important in these games, man. You don't think it would be, but it always does. Music is important in everything. It just adds that extra push. And which of these games had a better soundtrack? Original soundtracks plus licensed soundtracks, from famous bands. I guess Julian Stone, Radiohead, Kings of Leon, Femme Fatales, what else, Sid Matters, Sparkle Horse, Local Natives, Alt J, all these bands, right? Mudflow. I mean, there's a lot of great music in all these games that have been put out there, right? And I've actually put in my iPod, right? I still have an iPod, hell yeah. Am I a hipster? Hell no. So, first category, right? Story. Which of these games have the most compelling story, the most driven, most crazy story? Here you are. Life is Strange, of course, had one of the best stories in the game. Not only was it like a horror, kind of like a serial killer killing people kind of game, kidnapping them, you also had death chasing after our main character. Life is Strange 2, you had these kids escaping the law, running for their lives, enduring, racism, stereotype, whatever you want to call it. It's crazy, right? Before the Storm, prequel to Life is Strange, we followed one of our best characters, Chloe, and her change, dealing with her father's death after her best friend left, dealing with new characters that are coming into her life, dealing with drugs, families, being betrayed. This is a great story there too, number 3. And number 4, of course, for me, this is probably the weakest story of all these 4 games. You have True Colors. That being said, I kind of solved it right away in the beginning. One of the most important things in these games is shock factor. Even in Life is Strange, the first game, Chloe gets shot. A lot of people don't like Chloe, I don't know why. She gets shot, I was like, what the fuck, it's freaking shit out. Life is Strange 2, their dad gets killed. We didn't know that was gonna happen, or did we? I don't remember. And then Before the Storm, right, the whole drug dealer thing aspect. In True Colors, her brother's death, which was basically the first episode, was already advertised, so it wasn't that big of a shock when he died. And past that, figuring out who the killer was and stuff like that, the government mining contract thing, that wasn't that interesting. So for me, it's Life is Strange 2, Before the Storm, and True Colors. Those are my 4 right here, for story wise. So Life is Strange, of course, number 1. My bad for True Colors, even though I do like it. So let's see what else is. Oh yeah, what's next? The character thing, right? Now, when I'm talking about characters, not only are we talking about the main characters here, but we're talking about any character that was in the game, the supporting cast, the parents, right? And for that reason, Life is Strange, of course, takes number 1 again. A lot of great characters: Chloe, Max, Chloe's mom, that douchebag dude from the army, I forget his name. A lot of characters from the schools. I mean, even what's her Kate, right? Kate, I fell in love with Kate. She was amazing. Mark Jefferson, Nathan Prescott. I mean, I can keep going and going. There's a lot of characters in this game that were amazing, and you wanted them to live and help them out in that throughout the game. Before the Storm, we have a lot of return characters from Life is Strange, plus some new ones. We have Chloe. We get to see Rachel. We get to see what's her name, Stephanie, who comes on True Colors, which is another great character, right? A lot of great characters before the Storm, and it was just nostalgia, I guess, but it was still great. True Colors, man, that's number 3 for me. True Colors, Alex in True Colors was great. She was better than I thought she was gonna be. There you go. Her brother is amazing. Ryan and Steph are great supporting cast, but that's kind of where it falls short on that one. The rest of the characters are just no names, and they change throughout the play of the game, which I guess makes sense in real life. You put cute names on people to remember them better. I don't know. They didn't do that before, not that much, anyways. And in Life is Strange 2, even though the brothers were really great, I knew that a lot of the characters we meet in each episode were gonna come back, so it didn't really matter to me. So you really had to be invested in our 2 main characters, really. The rest, probably a handful of characters, but not really, right? So yeah, that's my picks, right? Life is Strange Before the Storm, True Colors, and Life is Strange 2. All right, now let's go to the music. One of the best things about these games. I grew up listening to a lot of music. I love music. I don't play any instruments, never got into that. But these games really bring more great music into my life. And I have to go with number 1, Life is Strange. That soundtrack was legit. I mean, I listened to that record nonstop for the whole time I played that game. I love Sid Matters, Jose Gonzalez, Angus and Julia Stone, became big fans of them. Sid Matters, Loco Natives, a lot of more great songs. Which is my favorite songs from that game? It has to be Obstacles by Sid Matters and Mount Washington by Loco Natives. But I love every single track in that one. True Colors, oh my god, when I read the soundtrack, I was impressed. You get a cover of Radiohead Creep, man, that was impressive. You get a cover of the Femme Fatale song. You get a bunch of Angus and Julia Stone songs. You get even Gold Monkey, you get some Kings of Leon in there, man. It was fucking amazing. There's a lot more. There's a lot of songs in that game, man. It's pretty great. Life is Strange 2, that had a couple good songs. I had Block Party, I have that in my iPod now. Dance, that was a great song. I love that song. Played that shit nonstop, man. Pretty good. I mean, come on, you even get a gorilla song in this game. That was impressive. That was a good soundtrack. And the last one, Before the Storm, I mean, I listened to that soundtrack too, but the music wasn't for me. It seemed like that game, out of all of the games, had the most potential of being the most hardcore punk game in the series. I mean, there's always, some, ska, some, cool alternative music and stuff like that, indie stuff. But I felt like Before the Storm had, Chloe, the most badass character of them all, and she needed a badass soundtrack. Even though there were some good songs, it's the least favorite of mine for music in that sense. So yeah, Life is Strange, True Colors, Life is Strange 2, and Before the Storm. All right, now let's get to the powers, right? Now, when it comes to the powers, right? Some characters have them, some don't. Some are better than others, of course. It's life. For me, the True Colors, Alex's power, the feelings power that people call it, I feel is the most powerful one and the coolest. And I thought I was gonna not like it, but it's pretty awesome. She's able to tell people what she's feeling, take it away, help them with their emotions. A lot of people struggle with that, and I think that power is pretty powerful. Especially towards the end, I feel like she could even increase her power and become even crazier with it. Of course, Life is Strange, Max's power was pretty cool too. Time reversal, controlling time, manipulating time, very powerful as well. But I feel like less consequences using Alex's power. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. And then Life is Strange 2, the kid's power, the brother's power. You weren't even playing with the character that had the power, but he had telekinesis, able to withstand bullets, stuff like that. It was pretty interesting as well. And then of course Before the Storm, even though I love shit talking and Chloe was badass at it, it's not really a power. Yeah, so that game really didn't have anyone with powers. Maybe Rachel, who knows? Some people delegate that she might have some kind of powers of a siren, but who knows? So yeah, True Colors definitely wins this one. I enjoyed using her power and figuring out how to help people with that power without reversing time. But yeah, I mean, these games are all about the person having an incredible gift, right? Maybe they're gonna finally merge somehow. I mean, these are all timelines that fit within each other, right? It's crazy how that works, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get more characters with different powers, and it'll switch from a story game to something else. You never know. All right, so moments. Who had the most memorable moments in these games, right? Man, there's a lot of crazy moments in these games, but I have to go with Life is Strange, of course. You had a great moment of someone trying to commit suicide. Well, it's not great. Well, hold on, it's not great, but it's memorable. This character that you're friends with trying to commit suicide, that's just crazy. You have to stop her or let her do it. Either way, it's your choice, right? You had many more scenes in that game. Finding out who the kidnapper was. Wow. Even though that was ruined for me, that's a great moment in this game. The storm that hits, the turning back time and changing something for your friend's life so she could live. There's a lot of great moments in this game that I remember to this day. Even like, oh, that's in Before the Storm, which is next, my bad. And Before the Storm, we have a lot of moments too. The play, the D&D session in Before the Storm, I love that. The prequel story where you see, you know, her dad died, basically. You don't see him die, but the moment when her dad talks to you and his face is all messed up, that was creepy as hell too. It was a great moment in Before the Storm. Life is Strange 2 was the next one. The weed factory, the weed farm, that was great. The busting into Mexico, if he got that far, that was great. Helping escapees. Damn, there's so many good moments in Life is Strange 2, man. That's my number 3. And of course, True Colors, mostly because it wasn't any super great moment. You could say the brother dying, but that was already thrown in there. The LARP session was pretty fun. That was a great moment. But they do stuff like that before. But memorable as hell besides the LARP, kissing Steph, but not really. Not many, man. So those are my choices, man. Life is Strange had the best memorable moments. Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2, and then True Colors. All right. And that's it, right? That's all my categories right there. Story, characters, music, powers, and memorable moments. Now comes to, the ranking, my ranking. What I thought of the games, you already know now. So I'll give you my rankings here. Doesn't mean that I hate one game over the other. No, it's just what I see them as, especially how many times I played each game. Definitely has an effect on the rankings for me. And of course, Life is Strange, man. I love Life is Strange. It was the first game, came out of nowhere for me. No one even talked about this game. I actually just bought it and I played it when I was working, and I fell fucking in love with it. It was amazing. Story, powers, death, defying death, trying to save someone you love. It was a compelling story for me. I was like, whoa, man, this is straight punk right here, man. This is legit. And to this day, I still play it like once or twice a year, man. And yes, I bought the remastered stuff, so definitely be reviewing that for you guys in the future. All right. Before the Storm is, for me, I love it. And people are like, what? That's the worst game. It's made not even by the same developer. I'm like, I don't care, man. And they're like, Ashley Burke's not even in it. I'm like, I don't care, man. I don't play it for the voice acting. I play it for the characters. And Chloe was still an amazing character in this game. Rachel, impressive character. No wonder Chloe has been looking for her in the first game, and you get to find out what happened to them, their relationship. Man, D&D session, come on, that for me sold it. And True Colors, even though I didn't like the story too much, the characters were great. Alex was amazing. Her power. I ended up liking Ryan and Steph, equally. I was like, whoa, who do I choose? Her brother was impressive, and man, it was just a good ride. It's all about family in True Colors, finding a home, family. I'm keep saying family. And of course, Life is Strange 2. Even though I love, sticking it to man, being on the run, taking down governments, the characters weren't there, and I think that's what the main thing about these games is characters in the game, and that's the thing that Life is Strange 2 kind of didn't have, or not as much as the other games. But yeah, those are my choices. And I know some of you were like, what the hell's wrong with you? How do you like this game over that game? I love them all the same, man. I mean, of course, there's some better than others. It's always like that. I would never rank any of these lower than a 7, no. But I would never rank higher than 8 as a critic, because there's no actual gameplay in these. Like, it's hack and slash and stuff like that. I mean, if there was like, you could use these powers, and like the kids' powers, especially in Life is Strange 2, and destroy a whole town, that'd be cool. But yeah, definitely these games are above any 7. No one below a 7. What the hell's wrong with you? These are great stories. They still are to this day. I still play them. But yeah, thanks for watching, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's pretty long, I know. There'll be 2 links down below. I'm still selling merch, right? Hit that up, get some cool t-shirts and stuff for the fall. It's already coming up. It's gonna be cold, right? Get a sweater or something. Someone already did, and it's great to see that. Thanks for watching. Hit that like, hit that sub, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.